All right, ladies and gentlemen, walking right up here to the surface at the Silver Dollar Speedway. Everything kind of looks the same as normal. This place, it always looks so choppy at the beginning of the night and sometimes stays that way or sometimes kind of smoothens out, but for the most part, you never really know what to expect. It can be wet and heavy all night, it can get really slick, it can develop a huge cushion. You just kind of got to be ready to stand on the gas and go for it because we're in California and it's pretty intense racing. Welcome back to today's show. Excited that you get the opportunity to hang out with my race team for the afternoon. This is the finale of the 2022 Fall Nationals, which is one of the bigger sprint car shows for 360s in Northern California. Yesterday we had 67 cars in the pit area and we're expecting probably right around that number again tonight. We're going to be getting though right into the action. Yesterday we ran in the top 5. I think if things went differently we could have had a potential podium on our hands. We had a ton of speed and we just kind of want to carry that consistency into today, get the night started off on the right foot and just go from it from there. So we're going to be hitting the track in just a couple of hours. The first thing will be qualifying and that will set us up for the rest of the show. You can see the track prep crew is working very, very hard to give us a great surface, and overall we would just like to finish off our weekend on a good note. Let's get it all started. Just wrapped up qualifying here at Chico. Did not get as good of a run as we did yesterday, and with the format tonight, we're just gonna be buried. Rolled out 63rd to qualify out of 66 360s, and the racetrack was still good. I think actually Andy Forsberg went out like 65th or something, and he literally ripped off the fastest time of the night. So there was still a lot of potential in the racetrack. I just kind of overthought what to do. Instead of just going out there and gassing it up around the very top, which would have probably been my best bet, I saw that guys seemed like they were trying to push the cushion and do that, and they were almost losing speed because they were making it too far around, where I tried to run a little bit lower, shorten up the racetrack, and still catch good grip, and it just didn't work. I wasn't smooth enough, and our race car also was a little bit free for that, so when I got into the corner, I just got sideways, got off the gas, and overall, I didn't do my job. I don't think we had the car exactly where it needed to be for what our game plan was out there on the racetrack. Honestly, with where it was at, if I would have went out there and tried to bury my right rear in the curve, it probably would have been pretty good. And that combined with us having, I would say, a much tougher group today. We are going to be rolling off from 9th in our heat race because we qualified 9th in our 18 car group. So right in the middle, it just sucks. It just feels like, you know, you leave time on the table and, you know, there's a huge difference between starting in the back of the heat and starting in the first 2 rows. But top 5 transfer, we're going to put qualifying behind us and try to regroup and recover here and move forward during this 8 or 10 lap heat.
Transfer, 2 Madelids up there on the front row. Bill Forsberg is off. It's a long time.
repairing some front wing damage after the heat race. Just kind of jumped the gun on the start and got into the car in front of me. But I feel like for our poor situation with not a great qualifying lap, starting 9th in our heat and driving up to 6th was almost about as good as it could have been for the track conditions and how fast the raceway was. To give some context, the heat before us, or maybe it was heat 2 on the night, since they went out and reworked it after qualifying, the fastest driver in that heat race turned an 11.9, which was about 2.5 tenths faster than the fastest qualifying lap of the night. So it's not like the racetrack is 100% slowing down. It actually is at a point where it's about the same speed, which, you know, when you're going that fast around a little quarter mile, you only have so many opportunities to pass. But early on in my heat, I was able to stick the bottom off of 4 and get a couple of cars, and luckily that should put us in the front of the B main event with 4 transferring tonight. So all we can do now is continue fighting, try to dig ourselves out of this hole, but we're in a good spot, and we almost transferred out of that heat. We weren't far off of 5th, but we're in a good spot now to still make the fall nationals and try to turn this night around and make the most of it. Okay guys, we are rushing big time, but good news, we made it in the big show. We're in the Fall Nationals finale, 40 laps ahead. Got to start up front in the B. I thought I was gonna be on the second row, but I got to be on the front row outside. Got to the lead within 2 laps and led the rest of the way. Racetrack's really good down low. I think it's gonna be good up high as well. We're just gonna have to see. They're not really touching it too much, but we start deep. Doesn't matter what the racetrack's like. It doesn't matter who's in front of us. All we can do is what we can do, and that's go forward. So focused on trying to be there at the end, do what we gotta do, and just try to be the best we can in traffic and try to miss all the chaos we'll probably see throughout this same main event. Let's strap in, head out. We don't have much time, so I'm gonna get going.
Ready for one, let's just survive this deal. I'm good with that. One go, guys. First, you gotta survive this thing if you want a shot at having a good tournament.
know, I really just need to get going and get to the top. I think the top is better. I kind of just got stuck on the bottom, and the car should turn better a little bit, but I mean,
Tanner, if you have to run the bottom, run the bottom. I mean, some of the guys are still fast on the bottom though.
if anything, maybe get us down a little bit less real quick, because that'll help us in 20 laps. I think we're like 12. Hey, how do I look down low in 1 and 2? Does that look all right? Brody is kind of sitting down on the little bit of a cushion that we had here at Silver Dollar. What do you think?
It's not as big as Placerville.
It's not as big as Placerville, but heck, it did build up a little bit of a ledge tonight.
I mean, to the point where it'd get people tight a little.
Yeah, it was. 21st to 5th for the 18T. Feels really good because I was really frustrated after qualifying. I felt like a combination of things kind of hindered our result, and part of that was on me. So when I make mistakes, I have a hard time sometimes putting them behind us, but I felt like we did a good job of that tonight. Put our heads down, went forward in the heat race, won the B, and then the key was surviving the A main event along with passing cars and putting ourselves in a position to, you know, avoid the carnage, but also pass on restarts, throw, I think, maybe a slide job or two, and try to move around and not get stuck in one line or the other, and try to continually get faster throughout the race, if that makes sense. And I gotta give it to them. They actually gave us a pretty decent surface. You can see the top's way up there, a good little grip lane around the bottom. It took me a while to get going. I was kind of conservative from the beginning because I did not want to wreck out. I did not want to do something stupid because I felt like we worked so hard tonight to get to the 40 lapper. There's no sense in wrecking out in the first 5 or 10. So ran the bottom a lot early, got to the top. We had a little fuel stop, tried to make our race car a little bit better. And then from there, picked off car by car by car. A bunch of wrecks. I think we had 2 or 3 red flags, which was, you know, probably over half the cars I passed was just being in the right spot at the right time and doing, you know, what we had to do to continually move forward. So happy with our result. Silver Dollar, it was a lot of fun, but wanted to make sure we showed you guys the surface before we kind of end the vlog. Well, everything's all loaded up and in one piece, headed back to Southern Oregon. Overall, as much as I critique every little thing about our race program and how nights go and, you know, where our speed's at or how we could have done better, I have to say, for Silver Dollar at the beginning of the season being one of our toughest tracks, and when we ran last year here at Fall Nationals, we barely made the show. This was a pretty big improvement. You know, we got going a little bit with the Outlaws, didn't get the result we wanted, but, you know, had speed. Then we showed up this weekend, 2 top 5s against 65 plus cars. I mean, what do you say? I mean, you know, as much as you want to win, you want to be better, and there's room for improvement. Happy with, you know, how the weekend went, especially with how tonight began. So with that, a big thank you first off to my crew and family. They, you know, they could have easily been down and out after our poor qualifying run, but that was not the case. And then as well, our partners, On-Site Screeners, Next Gen Def, Carson Oil, Lafarge, Pit Stop USA, Earth Environmental, QRC, Fast 4 Media, ABC Powder Coating, and all you great fans. Your support means so much. I feel like since the middle of summer, we've kind of really got going, and, you know, we've had some ups and downs, and we still got to work on consistency, but our results have really started to turn around for the competition we're up against, and we've picked up some wins as well along the way. So happy with the second half of 2022. Sprint car season is not officially over yet. We'll keep you in the loop with where we're headed next, but now it's like midnight, and we're gonna head back home to Southern Oregon and get to work tomorrow to get things turned around to go race again. See you guys all in the next video, and thank you for supporting my team and following along with us for this journey. Deuces.